I think one of the other cool things that we've been doing recently is when we get in touch with fire departments that have hose and have decommissioned bunker gear that they want to get rid of, they'll ship it to us, and then we'll make some products out of it specifically for them to cover more than the value of what they gave us and the cost of their shipping. So we've got a lot of different products. We've got things that are made out of the recycled Firefighter hose, backpacks and other items that are just made as everyday carry out of Cadora and other fabrics, recycling a lot of bunker gear, discarded military gear, military boot leather, lots of other fabrics and mediums. I mean, even through parachutes and things like that. So then we take and turn them into wallets and bags and flags, and every time I walk into the manufacturing space, they're showing me something new they just created. So it's kind of hard to contain them because it's such a creative process that they get to go through here with this that there's just really no limit to what they can do. My favorite product, I do love the Sergeant wallets and a lot of the wallet products we make, but our chest rig's my favorite. I mean, I wear it when I'm out hunting, gator hunting, fishing, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, sourcing the materials, I think, is probably one of the hardest things we have to deal with, because if we're looking for our vintage fire hose, then we need to find decommissioned hose from fire departments all over the country that don't just throw it in the dumpster, because that's usually the default. The stuff immediately goes in the dumpster, they get their new hose in, and they move on. Some guys use them as toe straps or something like that, but no one's really thinking, oh, maybe there's a company out there that'll recycle this stuff and upscale it into something else. So we found a couple of federal sites that we can get onto where some of the larger departments will put on pallets of fire hose, and we started buying a lot of that as our vintage product. And then we found a relationship that worked out really well with Repurposed Materials out of North Carolina. They have hundreds of pallets of factory decommissioned fire hose. So for making things like our pet toys, you don't want a hose that's been through fires and nasty stuff. So we're able to make a lot more of the products out of that too. And we've, I think so far to date, bought over 30 something pallets from them. So we've got a lot of fire hose sitting in the warehouse. So I actually bought this business from a friend of mine. He started it 12 years ago. He was a firefighter up in Kentucky, was making wallets out of the fire hose in his garage. Started making the very first Sergeant wallet that then sold over 70,000 of them to date. So that was the conception and the start. And then Jake would make a lot of new products over the years. And back in December of last year, when he was talking to me about selling the company and moving on to focus on one of his other companies, I said, yeah, this company's great. I love it. I mean, the products he's given me over the years and just the history of it, I knew it was something that I wanted to carry on. So worked out a deal with him, bought the company, and started getting it set up here in April. Now we're at the point where we need to hire on another 5 sewers. We need to up our production. We need to buy a lot more equipment to run that. The new sewing machines, bar tacking machines, so that they can roll over into making more of the backpacks and the bigger items, which then takes a dedicated fabric room and fabric racks and all kinds of stuff. So the manufacturing has to be the thing that grows first. That space, the machines, the employees, because they're running long hours over there just with the orders we currently have. So online sales is 90% of our product sales. This past week, we just got in with Official Patriot Gear, which is a store here at Cape Coral. And we've got a couple of gun shops and bike shops that we're talking to about getting into more of the retail for them. So I was at the Chamber of Commerce event here in town, and the speakers that day were Elizabeth on the SBDC. There was a gentleman from SCORE, and they were talking about what they do and how they help. And then I got to the fact of how much it costs, and I was like, wait a second. I mean, you're going to help me create business plans and set up things for our company and get us into the SBDC loans, and it's all free. You guys have got all these amazing people with tons of knowledge and history in this stuff that can help us. So I was really excited, and I went up and talked to her right then and there. Elizabeth's help from that has been getting us the the packet of stuff to put to the banks. And right now we have 4 banks that are looking at that and excited about what she got together and how she's presenting everything. So if you need questions answered, if you need help with loan packets, you need to go talk to SBDC. I would have said my proudest achievement with the company was buying it, getting it all consolidated into one location. But then through Elizabeth, she nominated us for the Manufacturer of the Year, which we were honored just to have the nomination. And when they came through and did their 6-hour-long inspection, and they walked through and they were looking at every box and every shelf and the corners and why you do this and how you do that, and asking us tons of questions from our executive team, hearing them say as they were walking around, wow, this is great. Wow, this is impressive. I can't believe you guys got this all set up within a couple of months. He's like, this is amazing. This is so clean. This is so organized. That alone, we never thought we would have won the award. So winning it was amazing. But having the team of people come through here and then give us ideas and give us, helpful hints and coaching, and they wrote up a whole report of, things that we should be working on. And so that was huge. The outlook for me that's changed because of the SBDC is knowing that there's help out there for the things that we need. Because obviously, as I've said, manufacturing was not in my past. And being in real estate, I have a bit of PTS from banks. So having someone that's, standing there helping us, putting together something that's professional. And truly, when you go to the bank and you say, oh, I've got this from the SBDC, they're like, oh, great, we're good then. It's just such a foot in the door. And, from the relationships that Elizabeth has gotten us, it's been amazing how much more receptive, these bankers are than bankers I've been to in the past for, real estate projects or investments and stuff. And I think sharing the story of Recycled Firefighter is the thing that we realize is the biggest way to build success and to sell the product and to grow the company. Now, after the award, it's been a lot more people have recognized it and understood it and heard about it. And we're getting calls from people saying, hey, we'd love to see this in our store. And that'll be huge for us in growing the sales and growing the need for more capacity for manufacturing too.